Today, we will talk with Dani Löble, the man on the drums of Helloween. First of all, Dani, it's a pleasure for me to be doing this interview. Welcome to Rock Mania.
Welcome to Germany, Switzerland, Germany. Hey, hope you got a good time. And let's take some questions and have a lot of fun.
Yes, my friend. Dani, how are the Halloweens work nowadays? I saw that at the end of the month, you are on tour again.
So actually, we're supposed to be on tour since May, but today's problems, you can't book a tour as we are used to. You know, start at one day and find an end on the other day. So we have. The beginning was a little bit 3 shows here, then a month off, then 2 shows here, a month off, blah, blah, blah. So, but at the end of August, so in 2 weeks, we're going to start a kind of a real tour, you know, with a longer stint. Means, first of all, we start in, good question, Milan, Italy. So we have a 4 show in the row stint, and then 3 off days, and then we start in Germany our European tour until the end of October, something like this, and then we will have a month off, and then we do the last 3 shows or 4 shows for this year, and that's it. And yeah, it's gonna be a hard stint. Tour leg, because we're swapping between Europe and South America, back and forth. So one day the last show is Sofia or Poland, I'm not quite sure. And 4 days later we start the South America leg in Costa Rica. So I'm not quite sure, but somewhere on your nice continent. So you see, I'm well informed. So I do have people that get paid to give me that information. So yeah, it's going to be a hard year, swapping between all the 2 continents back and forth. And so yeah, and hopefully we will have a lot of fun.
Yes, for sure. In October, you will play 3 dates here in Brazil. What things do you like most in our country?
I mean, I remember the last show we played as Helloween Pumpkins United was in Rock in Rio. I mean, that was what the kind of pinnacle for this lineup, playing on the main stage, being broadcasted, and in front of Iron Maiden once again, and that was a big success. And we had a blast being on that stage, and the folk was singing along with us from the first note down until we left the stage. And so, what I think about your country, it's amazing. As to be honest, as every country on this earth, that what makes this world, this planet Earth, really colored, you know, and that were really what I really appreciate, having Japan, what is a completely different country to Germany, to Brazil, to whatever you want to name it. And so, but then jumping on to China or down to Australia, getting back to wherever, to South America, North America. And this is what I really like having in this job. The diversity, you know, so that what makes it, can't describe it. It's like a dream came true. And been living for such a long time. I'm really grateful for that. And I mean, I love the South America fans. They are passionate and dedicated, and you can hear it. I mean, for example, compared to the Japanese fans, they are really conducted and really calm and really respectful. And eat fly free, yeah. And South America as well, yeah, let's get it. It's more open-minded, you know, more upfront. And so, but every Helloween fan actually is a really dedicated and a passionate fan. So to pick out one as the best would be disgracing another one, and I can't name the best fans. You know, I mean, Helloween fans, it's a family. Might sound a bit superficial, but I mean, I've been with the band almost 20 years, something like this. And I got in contact with a lot of fans, and I found a lot of good friends, meanwhile, among those fans. Friends that visiting me back home, and so swapping postcards and emails and whatever. So that gives me, I can't say it's a real family, whatever you wanna, whatever family means, but it's really heartful and respectful, and I mean, it means a lot to us, to the band. And I'm really grateful and happy and proud. Proud. It's a good description. Having people, human beings around the world who really like what we are doing, you know, as much as we do, and appreciate our passion, or appreciate that we live our dreams. You know, as a kid, I always wanted to be a drummer in a heavy metal band, sweating my arse off, sweating my arse off, and sharing stages with whoever. I mean, I shared stages with almost every role model I've ever had, you know, except Bon Jovi, but Rock in Rio one day before, so I can name Tico Torres as I shared the stage, but Tommy Aldrich and all these wonderful drummers who had and still have a big influence and impact on my drumming, as well as Ingo, for example, it's a big, huge influence, of course. And so, yeah, hey, that's Helloween, huh?
And how are you seeing the receptivity of the last album, Helloween, around the world?
I mean, it's the success of that album was amazing. I mean, I recently I got my first gold award for this record, and hopefully more are to come. To be honest, I mean, to get a gold award today, nowadays, or get it awarded today, it means a lot. I mean, you get awarded for physical sales, and not every heavy metal musician, it doesn't matter who, can say, oh, I got a gold award, you know. And so that shows the success of that album. Now the fans really, really like it and celebrate it and cheering it. And so, yeah, and now it's up to us to bring more or less a lot of songs. Shortcut. Yeah, we're going to play a couple of songs from the new album live, which is amazing. As you know, we had already played a couple of shows, and so we put in more songs now and changed set list. And so, yeah, and even live, this kind of new songs, I mean, it has been 1 year. 1 year ago we released the album, isn't it?
Yes, 1 year.
I'm getting old. Yeah, but 1 year ago, I mean, hey, and I started the drum recordings right after Rock in Rio. I flew back to Hamburg and started the drum recordings. It's almost 3 years ago. And so for me, it's an old album.
And this pandemic time is changed everything.
It changed a lot, tremendous. But to pick out the positive side of that pandemic was that we all of a sudden had a lot of time, even more time to polish and to buff that album, to bring in more ideas. And we were in a luxury position to get a lot of, now a lot would be exaggerated, but we got 3 or 4 mixes done by different well-known producers. And so we picked out that one, Roland Brandt, and who already did Manowar and whatever. And so for us, his mix was the most suitable sound for Helloween. So we had that. On the positive side, brought the pandemic onto the Helloween table. So otherwise, we would have been pushed to bring it out and go on tour. So no chance to fix or bring in more ideas, or to leave it a little bit rest aside and get on to it back with fresh ears. So always take the positive side, and that's what the pandemic brought onto the table. So we were in a luxury position to fix a lot of things or bring it new ideas and swap ideas, and at the end of the day, the result talks for itself. So
let's back in time. How did you get started in music? Why did you choose the drums?
Because the drummer are the better. Beep. Ask your girl. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I grew up in a musical family. My parents are musicians. My grandpa was a musician. My sisters, my brother-in-law, and you name it. So, it was easy to pick out an instrument. So I started with the drums. Why ever? I mean, playing drums. It's why I picked that. As a kid, I started playing drums in the womb of my mother. You know, she was pregnant and I was bumping and stomping. And then here I am, rock you like a hurricane. So let's start again with the real shit. And I got my first kiddie drum and I still own it. And so, but at the age of 6, 7, or 8, can't remember, I started playing trumpet, you know.
Trumpet,
Yeah, trumpet. And I played trumpet in a local music club, which is really common here, or really normal, I would say. It's which is a good occasion to get your musical skills. And then I changed back to what I consider to belong to the drums. And from the age of 10 on, I practiced my arse off every fucking day. I practiced 2, 3, 4, up to 12 hours a day, my drums, because drums is my life. And I don't like to speak and to talk. You know, I rather let the drums do the talking. That's what I can best. Means with the drums I can express myself best, and so probably that's the reason. And I, to be honest, I consider myself not as a musician. I rather consider myself as a rhythmist. You know, I'm a drummer. I don't give a shit. I don't want to write songs. I don't want to write tones or whatever. I have 6 unbelievable songwriters in the band, so who needs Dani, you know? And so I'm really into compose rhythms, drum breaks, drum fills, drum sounds, anything and everything that has to do with rhythm and noise and whatever. That's my heartbeat, and that's my life beside my wife. A day without my drums, I mean, as you can see, I come directly from my rehearsal room. I still go practice every day. That's what I need. That keeps me alive, and it's a must. It's a must to do that every day, to keep your senses sharp and your skills and your jobs up to date. Because to me, it's really important to interpret the songs and to play the drums best I can, because it deserves it. The fans, of course, at the end of the day, the better the drums being played, the better the result for the fans. But so do not get me wrong, but I don't care about the fans in a sense, because to me, it has to be played really well. I want to play the drums best I can every fucking show, every fucking rehearsal day, every fucking day. So because it deserves it. It's my baby. It's my life, and I treat it like my soul and whatever. So I'm pushing the 50, and I'm still trying to get better and better, and put everything onto the stage and in my playing as much as possible.
I grow up listening to the CDs. You playing, Nico McBrain, Igor Cavalera, early Kush.
That's the way to learn an instrument. I did the same way. I listened to all these guys you were talking about. Igor Cavalera, first of all, of course. Iron Maiden, Nico McBride, you know, or Ingo Schwichtenberg. He's a bit older than me, so I was a teeny, and he must have been around 20 when he released the first Walls of Jericho or whatever. That was an impact to my drumming. And Uli, of course, we know another. I know Uli from his earlier bands, from his work with Holy Moses, for example.
Holy Moses,
you know? And Mickey D, and I mean Tommy fucking Ulrich, Tico Torres, Dave Lombardo, and Anthrax. I mean Charlie Benante and Tommy Lee and Cozy Powell.
A lot of teachers.
Yeah, I listen to them, and because why do I name them? Why all those guys are, or these guys are role models, became my role models, because they touched my heart somehow. You know, and that's what I want to say is, I do not know if I am the best drummer. No, I'm not. There are million of talents out there who could play Eagle Fly Free even faster and even better than me. But to be a drummer in a band, it takes a lot more. To be in that pool of being seen. You wouldn't be in that pool if you couldn't play Eagle Fly Free, for example. You know. But there are a lot of other aspects they picked me out. You know. Ask them why I'm in the band. So I don't know. I mean, the human side is much more important than the playing side.
How did you get started into Helloween?
It was kind of crazy. I was still in my former band, Royal Rex. And around this time, I was asked to join Helloween. I had been on tour with Blaze Bailey of Iron Maiden, the former singer of Iron Maiden. So we were together. It was a cool band. It was, you know, Doro Pesh, Doro, and the bass player and two guitarists were part of that band. I was on the drums, and Blaze was singing. So we were touring back then, and while I was touring with my former band, and so all of a sudden the producer, Helloween's longtime producer, Charlie Bauerfeind, I remember he rang me one day. He rang me up, and I was like, "Hey Charlie, how's it going?" And he said, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" And I said, "What are you talking about? What are you going to do?" Blah blah blah. And I said, nothing else. I have to play a couple of shows. So could I know what you actually want from me? So he said, "So okay, go to Zurich, to the airport. There you will find a ticket to Tenerife, and you should get down here as soon as possible." So 2 days later, I took the flight, and I entered the studio, and then I knew, okay, it's about Helloween. And so so they wanted to check me out, but first of all I had to record a couple of songs, because I was able to play that kind of music. And yeah, so the rest is history. So after 3 songs, yeah, I got into the studio, and then the first songs I recorded was Get It Up, and I was like, so what the fuck is going on now, hey? So I was sitting there in the morning, did my notations, you know, so thank the Lord I can write music and read music. I made myself a wonderful chart. So I glued it all over the drum kit, intro, verse, refrain, chorus, C part, blah, 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 blah. And then I started the songs, you know. So the first songs was Get It Up. The second song, I don't know. And after the third song, it was 3 or 4 days later, all of a sudden, Sasha came into the studio, completely flustered and nervous and almost a kind of aggressive. And I was like, hey dude, what's up with you? And he said, look, I have one fucking question. Do you wanna be with us or not? Do you want to join Helloween or not? Please tell me. And I said, what are you talking about? I mean, if you want me to join your fucking band, so ask me. You know, I'm here. I'm supposed to be here to do the recordings as a studio guy or whatever you consider me. And so if you want me to join your band, so ask me. And he said, yeah, I ask you, give me an answer. And I said, yeah, of course. And from that moment on, I was part of the band. So Sasha was the only one who asked me. And so they deleted all the recorded drums because Stefan Schwarzmann, the former drummer who did the tour, the Rabbit Don't Come Easy tour, he recorded already a couple of songs and then he gave up. It wasn't his kind of music and they split. You know. And so get back a bit. So they asked me. So Charlie came up with my name, Löble. The wife of Andy, she knew me from, she knows me from my work with Royal Rex because we recorded on Tenerife as well in the same studio. But I've never met Andy before because he had always been on tour with Helloween when we were recording there. And so she brought my name onto the table and Charlie said, oh yeah, that's a good idea. And the rest is story. So, and then it was like, boom, 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 boom. I had to record the entire Legacy Keeper 3 album, which to me is, that means a lot to get into a legendary band I'm in awe of ever since. And to do a Keeper fucking album, a Keeper album, you know, 1, 2, and now it was up to me to record Keeper 3. That was, I mean, I'm still a music fan and I'm still a heavy metal fan, and I see it like, I still see it like through the eyes of a heavy metal fan, to not lose that kind of excitement, you know. You could easily get into that kind of, losing interests or whatever. So you name it. So that's why I say I still see it through the eyes of a fan. And to me, back then it was bam, and doing the tour was a big success. So, and we worked. That was the starting point of a new management, new drummer, and the 4 of them to get this baby back where it belonged to. And it took us hard work, almost 15 years, to get this ship floating. And that was actually the foundation. And we worked hard, you know. And we had to get on. We had all our issues and problems, and we worked to get together. And so we find a really fine working flow, and even on the human side, we got all of the sudden we still get along with another really well. We respect another, and everyone leaves a lot of space for the other one. And so that's the foundation. And now I tell you something, that's the foundation, and that was the platform for the Pumpkins United thing, when we got back the 2 old new members, you know. Without this hard work, Pumpkins United wouldn't have been on wouldn't have been gone on tour. There wouldn't have been any chance to do a reunion or whatever. So I'm really proud being part of the second foundation for a new era in Helloween called Pumpkins United. That was the past tour. Now we are back as one band with 7 members under the flag of Helloween. So.
If you could be part of any band in the history of music, it's an imaginary question. Which band would be and why?
Probably I would have taken. I would take. I would say Queen. You want to know why?
Why?
No double bass drumming and a hell of a lot of success and heaps of money. No. Hey, don't get me wrong. I love playing double bass drum. That's my thing. It has to burn. I have to sweat. So, but hey, Queen, I really like Queen, and now a lot of Queen fans might nail me to the cross. I like the new Queen version with this new singer a bit more than the original. So, and now shit on me.
Another funny question, harder this question.
Okay.
If you needed to live inside the cover art of any album in the music history, which album would be and why?
I mean, that's a really tough question because
Hard.
there are tons of fucking amazing cover artworks out there. Huh? But I guess you got me, huh? Even the Helloween artworks, the new ones and the old ones, so and even the heavy metal albums, Iron Maiden, that would be a cool one. I mean, the biggest cover artwork until today is considered to be Warlock's Triumph and Agony album. That's the biggest from the size one. You can unfold it, or there's a special issue. And so this album covers considered to be the biggest ever existed cover artwork. It's a nice one, but not the best one. Oh man, that's really difficult. Wow! Somewhere fucking in time. Iron Maiden. That cover artwork is amazing. And I tell you why. It's packed with a lot of little details. Even on the little street signs, on this advertising signs, there's something written like Eddie, blah, 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 all these hidden little messages they left, all these little details, everything. If you keep close tabs, you will detect even more details. And that was the first album Iron Maiden recorded with keyboards. They hadn't done it before, and that was the first time. And since this record, they are kind of used to use keyboards, but really smart. And live, the bass technician supposed to play the keyboards. Mike always So, for example, another funny story, when we were playing, when we were on tour with Judas Priest, Priest has some samples, explosions, and a motor, and some easy keyboard tones. And one of the technicians, backliners, considered to play the samples. There are the little piano roll, and you see everywhere some colored marks, to know, okay, now And one show, Marcus was invited to play the keyboards. I was sitting there. I was watching one of my role models, Scott Travis, and all of a sudden Marcus came around, and I don't know any technicians. Hey, Marcus, fancy playing keyboards? And he was like, "Yo, of course. Tell me where. Tell me what. Tell me how. Okay." Bam. Another thing common. And I was like, okay, that's another funny story.
So funny.
But to get back to your question, Somewhere in Time, that cover, it's not the best cover, but it's one for sure most interesting heavy metal covers I do have in my shelf.
If you could have any superpower, what would be and why?
I would be able to fly a bit. I just wanted to have a bird's eye view. That's what I'm really curious about. Yeah, that would be cool. to see my Earth from above. I mean, as a kid, I always had dreams, and those dreams felt, and I still have occasionally, which human being not, have dreams I could fly. And I wrote in an article of whatever it was about a psychologist or whatever, that dreams that have to do or connected with flying, that means that something new is to come in your life. And now something really lame. A lot of things I live now. I dreamt before about it. For example, I had a dream that at one day I'm on tour with Doro Pesh, and it happened. At one day I was on tour with Doro, and I had a dream that I was on tour with Iron Maiden. Okay, I wasn't on tour with Iron Maiden, but I was in Blaze Bayless, the former singer of Iron Maiden, in the band. And so a lot of things I had to go through in a positive way. I had dreamt about it before it happened, you know. Also, really, German word, also. So, flying in a positive way. So that would be nice to have a bird's eye view. Would be a cool thing.
What do you like, Dani, to do when you are not involved with music?
Play drums.
Do you have any hobby?
Yeah, of course. When I'm not on tour, sport is what I really do every day. I get up at 7 o'clock, something like this, and I go directly to the gym. And I mean, I'm a half Swiss, so I consider to how could I say, grinding down the slopes. I'm a passionate skier. You know, skis are my second life. I was born with skis. Skiing is my life. Yeah, I was born. I was in a rucksack of my mother, of my father's back. So that was my first experiences grinding down a slope. You know, a slope grinding. So as soon as I could walk or stand, I got my own skis. So I was skiing down the hills between the legs of my father or my mother, or they called me, they sent me, go your way, and they were skiing down, and then they catched me, you know, they called me to get me back on track. So that was I had a little a helmet, and with the American flag on and all this stuff. So as that's, I mean, I can see the Alps here out of the window. There are the Alps. It's really far, some kilometers as the crow flies. So I can't wait to get back on the piste, on the slope. So that's my passion. And hiking, of course, during the summertime. I love being in the mountains, hiking. A bit easy way of climbing, and anything that has to do with sport except running. Because of my knees, I try to not put as much pressure as possible on my knees, because my job takes a lot. And double bass drumming, the way I play double bass, there are a lot of shows that my knees are screaming. So okay, rather not. So, but skiing, sport, and hanging out with friends. But mainly, I'm always active. You know, I can't sit on a perch on a sofa. I can do, of course, for maybe an hour, a couple of hours, but for a week or something like this, or 2 days or one day it's the limit. So, but then I have to get back to do something. I'm a nature born. I'm a maniac, you know, and
In what seat do you live?
At the outskirts of Zurich. To the center, it takes me to Zurich. It takes me a 30-minute ride. So, but I live, it's a bit crazy. Zurich is the next city, but I live on the German side. So the border is right there. So I live directly onto the border. And so we do not really know where we are. So when we are going out for a walk, so it's easily, so 1 meter you are on the Swiss side, the other one there, or the Lake of Constance, which is really a big freshwater lake in Europe. So it's parted, it's split in 3 parts, you know, Austria, Switzerland, and Germany. So you never know here in this area on which country side you are walking on. So, but yeah, Switzerland, that's my where my heart belongs to. So even I am a German, but I can't speak German properly. I do have a really harsh or hard Swiss dialect. So at the beginning, when I joined Helloween, the boys from Hamburg, it was a bit tricky to them to understand me really well, because I use German words that actually doesn't exist in the vocab.
Do you have a dream, Dani, for your life, for family, mankind, for the band? A dream?
I have to separate dreams and hope. And first of all, I hope that we can keep going, playing music around the world as it was before the pandemic. So, and I hope that the pandemic brought a lot of issues and problems. It made it kind of visual. And I hope that the mankind realizes that we have to change a lot. So, but that's my hope. My dream, I do have a lot of dreams. I'm still dreaming, and I hope that at one point I find a proper nice house to buy here. So with my wife, that would be a dream. Another dream would be to be as good as a drummer as I have been dreaming about ever since. You know, I mean, I will never be as good as my imagines want me to have. I will never reach that point. I will never be that drummer I want to be. Never ever. I will never get as good as I want to be. So, but as long as I live, I try every and anything, and I take every second and minute in my life to get as close as possible to that goal, to be Dani's dream drummer. Way up, way up. But I try to get as close as possible. No rest for the wicked, and that's another dream. And dreams, I mean, I have different dreams. A house, being happy, that's the hope. Yeah, it's really, as you can see, the older you get, the more it's a touch or go. Is it hope or is it a dream? But a dream is finding finally, but it could be hope too. You never, hope and dreams are really close in my life. So, and dreams, hey, that the world at one day will be a happy place to stay in or to stay on. And because, as you can see, now we have a kind of a war going on behind my backyard, so to say. It's 500.
So sad, so sad.
Yeah, but hey, how many wars has been going on for ages, and no one is talking about, because it's not in your backyard. In Syria, in Egypt, and you name it, in Iraq, Iran,
Israel, Palestina, né?
Everywhere are wars, heavy wars, and no one is talking about it. Now we have a war directly in front of your door, main door, and wow, everyone is running around completely flustered, nervous, and chiki, So we have a war. Yeah, we've been having wars ever since. And so, get back to your question. A dream would be a planet, having a planet or Earth, or living a life without any fools. Being betrayed and fooled and chastened. Man, I'm so betrayed, and I'm so rid of it. And that would be a dream. That would be a dream, hey. To have happy people. I mean, aggression. You need a devil on this earth. You can't only have a god. You need a good, and you need a good one, and you need a bad one. You have to keep the balance. You have to have a nice person, but you have to have an arsehole. Otherwise, the nice person wouldn't be a nice person. A nice person is being made by a bad person. White is being made white because we have black in comparison. You know what I'm talking about? And so that's my dreams. We'll see. As long as I live, I will do as much as possible good things. But sometimes you need to do bad things to reach your goals for a positive matter. And so, hey.
How often does the band rehearse?
We only rehearse right before a tour. So we get together probably 3 months before we kick off the first show. And so we work on the new material, because we have three guitar player. Now we have 2.5 singer, or actually 4 singers. We have to separate all the different voices and arranges, and who sings where and what and why and how, and who plays solo there, and blah blah blah. And we have to rearrange songs for the live situations. We have to put in entertainment parts, and all this stuff. And to have a production today, it takes a lot, because of the screen, the content has been made, and all that stuff. Nowadays, today, it takes a lot of time to get a production together, and so that takes us 3-4 months. For the first tour, we were rehearsing 6 months.
All the music's in your head?
Yeah, I can play a show on my own. So I don't need a guitar player, I don't need a singer, I don't need anything. I can play anything out of my mind. And so with the endings, with everything, I don't have a monitor. I have in ears, so my monitor sound is just I have a bit a bass drum on it, a natural sound, a natural bass drum, and a trigger bass drum to fatten it up a bit, to get a clear attack, and then I have slightly bit toms, but that's all. And so and the announcements. When it's about Andy saying next song, blah blah announcement, so I can hear it on my in-ears, but that's all. The rest I don't care. That's the way we recorded it, actually. So not the current album, I was recording mostly with the click track, but for example, Are You Metal and My God-Given Right, and what was the other one? Straight Out of Hell. Those three albums, for example, were recorded without the click track, without a band. I was on my own with Charlie Bauerfeind. So he gave me 10 seconds a count in, and then I was humming the song and I was recording the song out of my mind. That's it. And the boys were overdubbing then. So I was playing all the drums out of my mind. And that's the way it happened. No click, nothing. There was nothing, just me and my drums. Time by time, your senses get sharpened, of course, by playing with the band over and over again over the years. And I'm not a computer. On certain parts, you can hear me rushing, or I got slower because I less or whatever, you know. I mean, I'm just a human being, and I do not think about it. I just play drums, and as I feel it, because every part has a certain feel, and even the drum fills. If you would put a metronome on it, I guess no way. It's not on a grid. It's somewhere out in space. But that's the way music was recorded back then in the older days, and so we brought it back. And even on the new album, so we checked out a lot of different feelings. I was playing without a click, with a click, hard with a click, soft with a click, hard or without a click, and all the different types. And then we took a decision. So okay, that's best for the song. Let's go for a click track. Let's play without the click track. Let's play so blah blah blah. But you have to be able to, as a drummer, you have to be able to play without a monitor, without a band, and because the band relies on you, and that's my job. And I have to be the backbone, the machine. I have to be the engine to give the boys a good foundation to deliver a great show. That's why I'm not a big showman. I'm hidden behind my drums as Nico, you know. And we are just the backbone. We count in and we hold the timing, and we conduct the boys through the songs. We give the count-ins, the ones and whatever, and the starts and the ends, and that's really important for the show. And I always try to give the boys a good groove and a good feeling to offer a great show. That's what I really like doing and what I love doing.
Dani Löble, it was a pleasure for me to be doing this interview. I grew up, listen to your sounds, and now we can talk. It is one of my dreams. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for talking with me a dream. For my wife, it's a nightmare, but no, thank you. I really appreciate it, and it was a pleasure to me speaking with you. And Rockmania, hopefully we see another on tour, wherever it might be. And until then, stay, I wouldn't say safe, that's lame, but have a lot of fun. Enjoy your life. enjoy the music, enjoy whatever you do. And we will see another soon on the road. And I guess on the interview now, it's visible, right? It's a visible interview.
Yes.
The Rock Mania fans can watch it. So, okay. Hey, Rock Mania fans.